What's the most amount of money you've ever spent on a man that you were involved with?
On a man that I'm involved with,
Mm-hmm.
there is no limit. If I love you, I love you. And I'm going above and beyond.
Okay. In the past, like just off the top of your head,
A
ballpark.
figure, $2,000 on a watch.
Why?
My reason for asking that question is because I'm very unselfish. The women that I've dealt with that I know, like me, have a unselfish and just a very giving nature. So that number, not I don't know the relationship, the extent of the relationship, but I know women have spent money on and what they've spent money on and how much when they really, really care about somebody.
Yeah,
So,
it can go higher than that. It's not, that's what I said, I don't really put a price on it because it can go higher. However, that particular guy, we were dating for like not even a year yet. So it was just kind of like, I'm going to get you something because yes, we're dating.
Okay.
You know, yes, we're continuing. We're trying to figure out where we're going. And so I don't want to go too far if we're not too far.
Right. So that
sometimes that can intimidate a guy. Like if you give him something too much, too fast, too soon, it's an intimidation. Well, it can't be.
So let me ask you this. Would you say you haven't had many relationships in the past? If that
No, I
would
haven't.
be the Okay.
You want your balloon back? Okay.
That was a good answer.
Now, ladies, I wanted to show y'all that clip because this is a particularly dangerous specimen of male that we need to be on the lookout for. He is what they call a breaking bread bandit, aka he wants you to break bread and cake on him. He's one of those men who are going to ask you where you live, what kind of car do you drive, and what do you do for a living. And once you tell him, he's going to say, oh, okay, big money, or I'm trying to get like you. He's an aspiring house husband or kept boyfriend, however you want to call it. But he's not a protector and he definitely ain't no provider. Now, when you see or you hear a man talk like this, you better run like Sha'Carri. I mean, bend those corners, sis. And, I'm sure that every single solitary woman out there has encountered at least one of these men before in their life. Whether you entertained him or not, you've ran across a man like this. And, for a grown man who is clearly at least 35, he will sit there and fix his mouth to make a qualifying question. This, where you're asking a woman that you may potentially be interested in, what is the most money you've spent on a man that you've been involved with? That is, I can't even explain to you how crazy that is. And you are asking it in order to see if you want to talk to her. And the reason why you're doing it is so that you can see how much you can hope to get from her pockets. That is absolutely disgusting. And, he ain't asked this woman what her love language is, what she values in a man, what her morals or values are. Just, you know what? How much can I expect to be tricked off on? Give me a dollar amount. Boy. And when this woman said that there is no limit, he had the audacity to say, no, there's a limit. What's the dollar amount? Be clear. Let me know. I was flabbergasted. Like, where does one get that type of boldness and audacity? Like, where does it come from? Where does it come from that someone tells you, oh, no limit? Yeah. You got a dollar amount. I need a dollar amount. And then my thing is that this man is sitting there with anklet cargos on, expecting to be treated like an IG baddie. Sir. Sir. And then had the nerve to pop the balloon because this Negro did not think that $2,000 on a watch was enough. Come the heck again? You know what? First of all, that was too much. You talk about that wasn't enough? But let me say this, man. I do know that there are women who like to trick off on and they like to pay to play. And they like to pay for the peen. I know that there are women out there that do that. Now, me personally, I would never. But I do know women, there are women, out there that do that. I know that. But, I don't feel like this is a situation because isn't that normally usually older cougars, that are, paying for men that are like trophy pieces or something like that? Like male models or dancers, because I just don't. The only way that would even make sense to me, even though I would never do it, is if the man was objectively a 10, body wise and face wise, both. And it's the type of man that you feel like, you can attract, but you want that type of eye candy or whatever. I can't, that's the only way I could see that making sense, even though I wouldn't do it in that instance either. But I'm just saying that that's the only way it makes logical sense. Because other than that, what are you doing? What would be your motivation? What would be your motivation in paying for peen when literally peen has no value? Men will literally, come on now. And this man, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, he does not have the body or the face to be expected to be treated like a trophy man. What? You're not even hitting like that. And he's not even tall. So why would a woman pay for a below average to average Dusty? Depending on who's looking, below average to average. Because I think he's below average, but I'm sure there are women that would think he's average. And, I don't understand a woman paying for a man that could be seen in literally every single state and city in America. What are we talking about? And then my thing is, he really thought that he was doing something or smart or something, because he tried to throw his gold digging off, right? By saying he's a very unselfish man. No. Nah, fam, you're not. Because unselfish literally means willing to put the needs or wishes of others before one's own. So if you were truly unselfish, you wouldn't care what a woman was willing to do for you. You would only be thinking about what you could do for her. Then he told on himself yet again when he said that the women that he's dealt with have had a very unselfish nature. And he's basically saying that the women that he's been involved with have spent way more money on him. Well, okay, player, pop your collar. They spent all this money on you, cool. But where did it get those women? Nowhere, nothing. They ain't get nothing from it because you ain't with none of them. You know what I'm saying? And it was more than one because you said the women you've been involved with. So all of their quote unquote selflessness and tricking on your behind did nothing for them, but get them a shout out for being a big goofy. They are gone. They are a memory. And here you are on Pop the Balloon, trying to find your next victim to get your bills paid. Yuck. This man really said, that he knows how much women can spend when they really care about somebody. And you know what? I blame any woman that has dropped even $1.50 on this man. Because there's just no way he should feel cocky enough to say, well, you know what? I know how much women drop a bag when they really care. So I done had a lot of bags dropped on me. So moving forward, I need a woman that's really about to spend this cash. What? I just can't believe that any man would really believe that a woman is supposed to be dropping a big bag on them. And even if you felt that way, you just saying it out loud like that, that's mind-boggling to me. And I am actually shocked that nobody reacted. They just acted like this was just okay. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm just saying that a man with this type of ideology, trust and believe that sentiment, his idea that he wants to be courted and treated like a lady, that is going to bleed into every other aspect of the relationship. He ain't no protector. He ain't no provider. He's not even a man. And he's not going to be someone that any woman can depend on, period. And I really think that he's like, even though, you have gold diggers, men that want to be tricked on of any race, but in his case, I really think that he is the perfect example of the type of black man who has been coddled and uplifted for the bare minimum, so much so that he truly believes that he is the prize. And his mere presence is the present. You get me? And there is nothing more dangerous and delusional. It's a dangerous combination of men that believe that way. Like, really, they have nothing to offer. They're literally worthless, but the black women that they may be in their families or black women that they have met have gassed up their heads and made them feel like they're actually somebody when if anybody has any type of intelligence, they recognize that those men are worthless just by just taking one quick glance at them. You know what I mean? And when people challenge that idea that they are somebody, that's when they start getting violent and go off the hinges and start wilding, But anyway, all I'm saying is that this man clearly doesn't have anything to bring to the woman. And, I can't fault him because, honestly, a dusty is gonna dusty. A bandit is gonna bandit. You know what I'm saying? He's a predator. So I can't be mad that a predator is out here looking for prey because that's what predators do. But, who I can be very disappointed in is this very attractive black woman sitting there attempting to convince this man that she can be the trick of his dreams. Girl, what? Why would you even explain anything to him? You should have let that man pop the balloon and you should have said, cool, all right, that's no problem because I'm not paying for no man. Like, what? Now you done told all the other men there that you a trick too? Like, what? Like, it's like you don't see the red flags pouring down from the heavens? Like, what? It's like I said, the fact that she let that man get his balloon back, that man's balloon should have been popped. He should let him keep it popped. That's a protection for you. It's like, seriously, what you sitting there explaining for? Like, why are you explaining? What you explaining for? And like I said, everything that she was saying was basically saying, yes, I've tricked and I will trick again. And the sky's the limit with my tricking. And, ew, brother, ew. Like, yuck. But, and what's crazy is that it seems like she should have learned by her previous experience. You splurged on a watch that cost you $2,000 for a man that you hadn't even been dating a year. And, where's he? Oh, nowhere. Gone. And now you're on a show about to get got again. Oh my gosh. And oftentimes when I see women make horrible mistakes, the red flags are right there. These are the women that have the most to say about how they're treated by men. Like, oh, these men treat women so badly. Oh, they do this, that, and the third. Like, well, sometimes the signs were there. You just ignored them. So at what point do you say, hey, you know what? It could be me because this is Negro number 50 and I'm still getting dragged over the coals. Like, anyway, all I'm saying is that at some point as a woman, you've got to realize that in certain scenarios, you're giving them the ammunition to play in your face. You're literally handing it over. You're literally giving it to them and saying, hey, play in my face. Yep, I like it. Play in my face. Do me how you want to do me. Like, no. Like, because seriously though, any thinking woman should see that this is not a man to pursue. This is not a man to date. This is not a man to entertain. You leave that man right where you found him, in the streets, and you keep it moving. Like, point blank period, you keep it moving. He asked this woman, did she have many relationships? And she said no. He's like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, let me get the balloon back. That's a good answer. She doesn't have a lot of baggage. Let me be the first one to give her the whole set. She finna be able to go to anywhere in the world that she want to go with all this baggage I'm about to give her. I gotta laugh to keep from crying because, boy, he like, I'm finna run that Chase Bank account into the negative. Negative. Daddy needs a new pair of olive cargos. He needs them new anklet cargo joints. I'm serious, like, look. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on, y'all, like, seriously. Okay, I gotta gather myself. I'm not gonna even edit this out. I gotta gather myself, y'all. Listen here, ladies. Do not spend no money on no man. Don't do it. Now, I'm not saying that if he's your fiance, your husband, y'all are locked in, that you can't occasionally reciprocate and do something nice for him and spend a couple dollars. I'm not saying that. But before you even think about that, he needs to have spent way more on you already and done way more for you already. Because what you look like, pen for pen. Huh? I don't want any single solitary black woman, black sister, shoot, heck, any woman, but definitely my black women. Pen for pen. Like, why would you do that? It literally has no worth. A man will give it to anybody and everybody without a care in the world. You ain't got to take them to McDonald's. You ain't got to do nothing for them, right? And they will just give it over. They'll put it in a hole. So why would you ever pay for that? Why would you pay for that? Because I know you ain't paying for his personality, are you? If so, that's absolutely dreadful. You don't, you don't have anyone else that you can talk to? Like, I'm just playing. I'm just playing, but not really. But for the sake of this video, I'm just playing. But seriously, all right? Men like this are dangerous, and they only seek to use women. They are opportunists, and there is nothing worse, in my opinion, than an opportunistic man, than a man who wants to be treated like a pretty, perfect princess. Gross. Yuck. You know what I'm saying? And what's crazy is that he looked like the type to want to be wined and dined, but still want to pretend that he's the man and try to tell you what to do when you the one running everything and paying for everything. Stay away. And I'm serious. Stay away from men who are overly concerned with your finances. Heck, who are concerned with your finances, period. Because I promise you, men that are really concerned about your finances, they're either planning on a 50-50 situation. That's what they planning on doing. Or it's a situation like this where they want to make sure that you got the bread and the means to provide for them and trick on them. Because a man that really cares about you, he really loves you, he really wants to be with you, he really values you, and he's a real provider, I promise you he's not going to be concerned about what you got because he knows that he has got it. But, I digress, y'all. Hey, at the end of the day, y'all don't got to listen to me because who am I? Just a lady on the internet. But anywho, if you watched this whole video and you enjoyed it, then please do me a favor and drop a 2 in the comments down below. Because what? Bandits that want you to break bread on them are boo. Absolute boo-boo. The boo is to the boo-boo is to the boo-boo. All right? Sorry. And if you can donate to my Cash App above to help support the channel, that is no problem at all. I know times are hard out here and we all just trying to make it. And besides, since I just talked about all that, I don't want y'all to think that I'm ever on that type of time. Seriously. So if you don't want to do that, just do me a free favor. Follow your girl on TikTok. It will cost you nothing. It's for the free ski. I do live stream there exclusively, so I am sure that you will enjoy it. We get crazy over there. We debate. I roast these dudes. I do a lot over there. So I think you'll have a good time if you follow me there on TikTok. And also, if you don't want to do that or you want to do this too, follow your girl on YouTube. hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so that you don't miss any of my new uploads, because I do most of my business over there. And as always, ladies, I really love to hear from y'all. So please drop your thoughts, comments, and feelings down below.